Hi, everybody. We're burning the midnight oil. We're very late tonight. This is day, well, it's 1307 now, but it's labeled as 1306. Um, so we'll just have to, just burn the midnight oil and keep moving forward. Because behind the scenes, if you're wondering what we're doing, we are putting together all of the evidence, placing it in letters, and giving it to authorities, right? That's what we're doing. And we have so much evidence um, that it's time consuming. It's very time consuming, and you have to go through it. We want to be as honest and genuine as absolutely possible. And so to go through it and be very careful and word our letters properly. Try not to put too much emotion in it, because if I put my emotion in it, it would just be really unreadable. Um, because all you would hear would be shouting, right? All you'd be here is you know, I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine when you find out that when you talked hours and hours and hours to CID agent Soto, and he was lying and lying and lying, and that we were talking hours and hours and hours to a certain individual, and you find out that they're an agent working against you, um, and you're, talking hours and hours to people that are, you know, um, trying to help you. Uh, they say that, like Veronica Escobar, like um, she said, "Oh, we're going to get the FBI in on this," and the FBI comes to the meeting, and they're dirty. They're dirty. Veronica's Escobar's dirty. Who's her daddy? That's what I want to know. Who's funding her? Who is funding her there? Who are the really wealthy people controlling Veronica Escobar? I'd like to know that, because Veronica Escobar, where is she? She does not care about the volunteer soldiers on Fort Bliss, and she does not care about El Pasoans, because this is absolutely the extortion of El Pasoans with this bond deal, this hundreds of millions of dollars for a bond deal. I mean, it's insanity to put your people in that kind of bondage, that kind of slavery. Um, it's yeah, to charge these exorbitant property taxes, for 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 dirty agencies, for an AG that is compromised. AG Jaimes Barza is totally compromised. He wasn't even allowed to deal with the case. Let's go. I'm talking about Richards, and of course the mass shooting that happened on August 3rd, 2019. Um, so the more that we look into all of this, the more that we get the open records and read through all of this, the more we understand. And we understand that, um, there is a lot of nonsense. There is so much nonsense going on in our very expensive agencies and organizations, our law enforcement nonsense going on in the DA office. And we give them everything, you know, and because we have a local DA. And when I say we, I'm saying the American citizen, the way our system is made. We count on these local uh, law enforcers to do their job, to be honest, to have integrity. But you see, I think over the years, over the decades, we have just tolerated so much misbehavior, so much of this, these sex cults, this treason against the family, because that's what adultery is. Um, People don't even look twice anymore uh, uh, about adultery because everybody's doing it. And so then you can't mention anything. You can't mention it because everybody is participating in it. And I'm not saying everybody, but a huge portion of people are participating in it, and especially in these very well funded jobs, very well funded government jobs. They seem to really be up to nonsense, and there's no accountability. And this is the fact. If they're in their private jobs, then they have the consequences of their actions. But they're not in their private jobs. They are in public funded. They're supposed to be public servants, and so they are supposed to have um, a higher standard, an absolutely higher standard, and that's why they're not allowed uh, in normal circumstances to just go for a roll in the hay with anybody, to have these adulterous affairs, to ruin their families, to cause strife, to have these conflicts of interest, these these business dealings with very wealthy people that make them feel very special or whatever. Um, and I understand. I understand, you want to be successful or whatever, but you're selling your soul out for a bowl of porridge. But it's not just your soul that you're selling out. You're selling out the people that you're supposed to be protecting, the people that you're supposed to represent, the people that you're supposed to serve. And so this is, I mean, to find out the nonsense going on behind this with the DA's office, with John Briggs, with Justin Underwood. He's a private attorney. Please don't use him. I mean, he's just up to no good. It's, you know, to work against um, Yvonne Rosales, an elected. That's a people's choice. The people chose Yvonne Rosales, and they worked against her. That is really despicable. To get in Bill Hicks, who is not even qualified, y'all, and in so much trouble, and was representing Perch's funeral funeral homes, which is a huge conflict of interest. And he didn't even pass the bar the first time around. I mean, okay, fine, whatever. But for, the district attorney, come on, we can't pick someone that can pass the bar the first time around. Our standards have been, are so low, and um, and I'm not really, I'm a pretty middle class person. I'm not even really higher middle class. Um, but uh, with my oma, my grandmother, with my family, we always thought to honor whatever position that we were in with integrity, to do a job so well that people would want us to come back and do it again. You know, that's that's how we were, you know, our mission in life was to leave the whatever place we were at better than we found it, to be a blessing to people, to be a blessing to our family, not to, and this is where we get a certain blessing with that, because you don't feel like you have to micromanage. If everyone is doing their part, you don't feel like you have to micromanage them and have them, right there near you. And so as Richard got older, as our children get older, I don't feel like I have to micromanage their lives. I don't have to get their jobs for them. I don't have to tell them how to run their families. They know how to do that. They know how. I can just be a blessing to them. That's it. As a Gigi, as a grandma now, as a mom, just how can I help? How can I be a blessing to you? And your, you know, as a young family, and this is not the case when you have a criminal enterprise like with Lalani Hart's family, like those involved in 3905 Bliss Avenue, the Roaches, Danae Katzen's family, um, Chris Grant's family, their associates, their colleagues, their friends. You know, I can't even imagine how they deal with each other because there's so much nonsense going around. No wonder there is arguments and fighting and betrayal among them. Uh, it's it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen because there's no set standard. Everybody's making their own standard, and so they have to try to fight for the position of leader to tell everyone what to do. Let me be God. Let me be the king. And whoever has the most money, I guess, gets the position, and then everyone tolerates everything around it. Um, that's just not how our world works. Um, it's just not how our world works. It just falls apart like that. So, you know, uh, the right way is the justice system, the Constitution, the the integrity, the honor, the selfless service. That's the right way, and life is so much nicer. And so, much fewer people are hurt with that, and families thrive. I'm not saying there's not problems, but so fewer people get hurt than with uh, a criminal enterprise where they have to murder people. They've absolutely had to murder people, and if you didn't go along with it, uh, yeah, you had to be murdered. So the violence and the retaliation, and that's all part of you know these groups that are just willing to betray and commit all kinds of crimes using their office, using because there's so much money at stake, you see. And these are high class criminals. I don't even want to call them high class. I should say big stakes criminals. These are not criminals that just walk around like in gangs. These are fancy people, fancy pants people, and yeah, that really get into politics a lot because the politics is how you learn how to get these bonds pushed through, where you can pass hundreds of millions of dollars for a police station that this might not be new news to El Pasoans, but it doesn't cost $1.2 billion or hundreds of millions of dollars for a new police station. Okay, that's some fancy stuff. That's almost yeah. Um, Something else is going on with that. Absolutely, something else. So that's what we were doing behind the scenes is going through, and we have found so much information that we're writing these letters, and so we'll get some. We just sent off about five yesterday, or I think Saturday. We'll get some sent off tomorrow again with all of the results of us digging through this information. And we're not even finished yet. We're not even finished. So let me see if I'm on Facebook. I should have done that first. Yeah. So, and I know it's very late tonight. I'm going to come on. I think I've been meaning to do some live streams during the day. So pray that that will happen. And I really need to reach out to everybody more to let them know what that these orchestrators, these are 3905 Bliss Avenue people. These are the Jesus Nietos. This is the Bill Hicks, the Jaime Esparza, the Judge Madranos, the Angela Kachurgas, the Bob Moores. These are fancy pants people, and Veronica Escobar, you know, um, and they absolutely buy their fruit. You know that they don't care one lickety split about the people and about their area. They are absolutely have sold their soul, absolutely. And the Sotos, the Hernandezes, the Rochas, the Katzens, the Gonzaleses, um, absolutely Tavita Nusa, of course the Hearts, and the Hearts, um, and there's more, and there are more uh, of these the Chris Grants, the Donna Siffords, and there's more, absolutely that will say, okay, we'll cover up the murder of not one, I think many of our volunteer sons and daughters, and then they'll say that they're for veterans. Um, it's just horrible. It really is horrible. So, but I think we're getting a lot of traction, and it's all in God's timing, and we can't stop. We have to move forward. And so, with getting all of this, these paper dumps now, right? All of these open records, um, we have to really spend some time to go through them. And because that's, you can ask for the records, but you actually have to read them. So, that's what we're doing right now, and putting all the evidence together with the evidence that we have and sending that in. So, thank you so much. God bless you. Remember uh, that investigations are going on behind the scenes. We have it confirmed that Bill Hicks is being investigated, Lalani Hart. It's a lot of investigations going on behind the scenes. So keep praying for justice. Never give up. Never. We happy few, we band of brothers that fight for justice. In the day of victory, we will say, well, those that didn't want to, that sold out their soul, um, yeah, they will say they are lesser men. So that is um, a great lesson to continue, even if you feel like the power is so much bigger. But you know what? It's not. It's all an illusion. It's like they put a magnifying glass upon themselves, but really when you take it away, they're just little, little, very, very little. And so we've got to continue until the time is right. So thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.